go ahead and start recording this. So it's Tuesday, November 3rd, another live session about to get started. So what we're going to cover in this live session is all the pairs that me and Nick are looking at. He's about to enter right now. We're going to do our top-down analysis. So we're going to start from the higher time frames and work our way down to the lower time frame where we could potentially take entries. We got Nick joining up here. I'm about to get him unmuted. Guy's got the beige shirt for days. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey guys, you talking about my beige shirt?
This guy's beiged out over there. No, so yeah, we're gonna go through all the pairs that me and Nick are looking at. For you guys that have questions throughout the session, just write it in the chat. And some of the things we'll go over is just mainly market structure, doing our top-down analysis, looking for entries and levels. So we're going to talk about levels that we're looking to trade at. That's the main thing that we're going over in these sessions. If you do take any trades during the session, guys, just make sure you use the stop loss. That makes sense. That's appropriate. Don't blow your account on the session. Doesn't make any sense. So that being said, Nick, you want to get started?
Yeah, I'll start off.
All right, cool. I'm gonna
start off.
Give you permissions to share up. 1 second.
All right, guys. So obviously this week is not like other weeks. There are definitely some different factors that we have to consider this week, like the election. So just keep that in mind, guys. I mean, just be careful trading. We don't exactly know what's going to happen based on who's elected or speculation, but we can be ready for one thing, and one thing we can be sure of, and that's volatility. We know that there's going to be a ton of volume. There's going to be tons of just crazy movement, just volatility across the board. So just be aware of that in your analysis, guys. Maybe don't take a trade today. Kind of wait for things to play out, see how the rest of the week develops. But anyway, let's jump right over to DXY. This is kind of the big guy at the moment, right? We're waiting for this kind of to make a move. This is definitely DXY definitely drives most of the market. 80% of all trade is from the US dollar. So definitely all eyes on DXY this week. A lot of focus going on here. All right, so let's get this in TA for a second. So let's just take a look at the overall trend. We're on the daily time frame here on DXY. We were very bullish for quite a while, right? Nice ascending channel. We broke some higher lows. So it was a break of structure there. We went bearish. We saw price action drop down to this monthly where it consolidated a little bit. Still kind of is, but that's where we're going to zoom in and get a closer look on the 4-hour. This price action, this whole set of price action down here. All right, so here was that initial drop. That dropped down to the monthly. Still very choppy, not really choosing a direction on either side here. We did get a false breakout. This is more of just a pullback of this larger trend. So that established the resistance level there. Price action did not form a higher low above this 4-hour zone. So this was that false break. Comes back down below support here, starts testing as resistance. We get another push to the downside, doesn't hold, comes back up, pushes back above this 4-hour, and then fails again. So guys, this thing, it's kind of it's in a weird spot, right? So it could go either way here, where it goes bullish, could still very much go bullish here if we get some rejection from this 200. Could definitely find our way back up to this daily, right? If we get some good news, could definitely set that off and find us pushing long again. Or guys, we see that we're pushing back below, but we need to confirm this with a lower high, right? So if we get a lower high with good rejection, good conviction, then we could say that we're short in the dollar if we see this zone reject pretty hard from this 4-hour zone.
If anything on the 4-hour, this thing's looking bullish too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is the 4-hour. Definitely bullish. Let me jump up to the daily for a second. Yeah, so it could go either way, but I mean, there's so much speculation around this week. It's kind of hard to say, guys. The best advice that I can't really stress this enough is just be patient. Don't force anything. Reduce your risk this week, especially. But yeah, But overall, dollar is still pretty much very bearish. You know, as long as we remain, excuse me. Well, didn't have coffee yet, but as long as we remain below this daily zone, pretty much bearish here. And then, of course, more confidence if we get that lower high below this 4-hour zone. All right, so that's DXY. I mean, got to just wait on it for now. See how this goes. So let's jump over to AU, our first actual pair. We did see a huge drop in the dollar, so AU had a huge spike, but still very much bearish. So let's just start off on the daily. We'll get to it in a second. All right, so we were very bearish for quite a while over here. Broke through support, started trending pretty nicely. Nice ascending channel here. Lower lows, breaking through support, testing as resistance, and so on. Then we saw Corona hit like a truck, then just dropped, comes back up. 100% retracement, comes right back up to that weekly zone, finally breaks through it. So that's a weekly break of structure. That's a weekly lower high. So once we get through that, that's a change of trend. Then we started getting an ascending channel. Then we started getting some reversal signs here. So break of a higher low on the daily transition. We're getting some ranging. So we're going to drop down, get a closer look at this bit of price action here. See what's going on this 4-hour. All right, so here's that weekly break back here. Weekly break, confirmed it. We had a nice ascending channel. Then we had this daily higher low right here break. So that's a daily transition. Price action falls back to our monthly zone, rejects with a double bottom, comes back up, tests the daily break of structure, rejects, false breakout there. Just like a nice, it was a false breakout. Didn't give us that higher low. If it gave us a higher low above that daily zone, we would have changed our bias back to bullish, at least for the daily time frame, but it didn't happen. Came right back. This is kind of the last attempt from the bulls. Failed, comes back down, starts blowing through support, starts testing as resistance. And then there's like a pattern in there as well, a little ascending wedge. Reverses from there, comes back down towards the monthly, double bottomed again, comes back up. We're testing, key resistance at 0.715. Another once again. So so this thing is it's kind of ranging now between 0.715 and this monthly. So we really want to just see a break of that. I mean, we're going to favor a bearish outlook because overall we're pretty bearish here. So I want to look for some sort of rejection from here. You can enter on a lower high below that 4-hour. And then hopefully we get a break and we can reanalyze once that break happens of this monthly zone. So this is definitely the favorable trade. I think it's going to be something like this. This is going to happen first. But if this does go long, we just want to see a higher low above this daily. Because again, as long as, like I said, a price action can break the 715 zone right here and then consolidate in between this daily and the 715 handle for quite a while. You can give us indecision in there. And, this just isn't a real break. If we get above this 0.715, it really has to get above this daily zone for us to really change our bias here from bearish to bullish. All right, so more breaks the better. We'll have more confidence in the trade at that point. But for now, we really just want to wait for these to play out. Either it's going to break or bounce. And I mean, this is a good amount of volume coming out of AU. But, again, this is definitely, dependent on the US dollar right now. So we'll see. See if this volume continues to pick up. If it starts to die down, we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, that's AU. Definitely looking for shorts first. Let's jump over to AJ. This is going to be pretty similar to AU, but we'll jump down to the 4-hour in a second. Let's start off on the daily. Overall, very bearish. Huge bearish channel here. Nice resisting trend line of all these lower highs here, right in line with this 200 EMA. Very nice. Let's see, we had this Corona drop here down towards 6.3, pulls back pretty quickly, tests the monthly resistance, and also breaks a weekly lower high. So that's a transition to the bulls on a weekly time frame. Then we had an attempted break of this monthly zone. It didn't happen. It gave us a false breakout, gave us the higher low, but not the conviction, and then it failed. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this. We're going to jump to the 4-hour. Get a closer look here. Here's our weekly break of structure on this. Let me zoom in a little more. Okay, so here's our weekly break. There's a weekly lower high back there. We got a higher low here. Continues to push higher. Price action broke through the monthly, gave us a higher low, but it didn't have the conviction. So it actually found resistance right here, pretty much right at 775, and then gave us a lower high and just fell off. So from that, so after this higher low was broken, it's a daily break of structure. Price action dropped to test the weekly, double bottom, just like we saw in AU, comes back up, tests the daily pretty much to the pip, reverses, breaks through some lower time frame support like this 4 hour, and then starts sliding off. So we got a bunch of consolidation, nice little confirmed lower high, crossed through the MAs, and then dropped. So with this move right here, we also had a weekly break, and then we were waiting for that lower high to form after an MA pullback, looking for the recross, and then we would have been short on a really nice, really nice lower high entry. I mean, this would have been perfect, but clearly that didn't happen. This thing kind of surged as DXY began to drop, and we broke back through our weekly, back through our 4 hour, or I'm sorry, back through our 1 hour. So from here, if we are going to consider longs, I really want to just see a higher low above this 4 hour zone, and more importantly, above this 200 EMA.
You know, we were in on AJ and AU longs yesterday.
Yep.
On the
This AJ long was pretty nice.
On the account, but it dipped so hard before it flew up.
Yeah, it did. It was definitely a difficult little catch right there.
It was difficult to hold that.
It did, but it played out well. I mean, the sentiment was there. So from here, let's figure out where we're going. Take a look at the potential scenarios. All right, cool. So from here, let me just extend this last one. All right. So again, if we're gonna go long, I really want to see a break of that 4 hour zone, higher low above that. And then if we're gonna go short, I mean, we're still technically short until this 4 hour zone's broken. Because like we could very well see this, a nice little lower high below the 1 hour, nice little lower high below the weekly, all potential entries, as long as we're getting those lower highs below these, resistance levels. You can enter on any of those. Okay, let's go ahead and make this blue for a second. All right, but yeah, we just really gotta. I mean, the market just had a move, right? We just saw a ton of volume step into the market, so we really want to see either this momentum continue, or we get some consolidation, and then the move happens. Another move, another leg, bearish leg, bullish leg, whatever. But yeah, so there's no real entry just yet. We got to see few more candles, a few more confirmations, and then we could start making some actual trades here. All right, but yeah, so we're bearish until this 4 hour zone is broken. Look to target negative fib levels, once we see the right entry setups. All right, so that's AJ. Let's move over to UJ. This thing looks like it's breaking to the upside here, but we'll get to that in a second. Daily time frame to start, guys. I mean, this thing has just been so bearish. If we jump up time frames here, or if we zoom out, I mean, we can see a giant descending triangle. Key supports at 104.5. Tons and tons of lower highs, just kind of squeezing price action to that point. So let's zoom in on the most recent bit of price action here. I'm going to go to the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so we recently broke through this weekly zone, tested it as resistance, and now we're getting lower high after lower high, support after broken support, testing as resistance. Nice little head and shoulder pattern here, further pushing into our 104 handle. So at this point, we're pretty much hovering right at 104.5. Definitely a key level. Zoom in a little more, but again, so just like, let me clean this up a little bit. Get rid of these fibs, get rid of this zone. All right, cool. So we have a nice little 1 hour level here. We actually recently just saw a transition here as we broke above it. Just extend some of these zones. Okay. All right, so we're definitely bearish on this. Definitely bearish. It is giving us a little 4-hour bullish trend here, not a problem. If it does give us a nice entry opportunity right here, I mean, sure, you could take a long into the 4-hour zone. I don't recommend it, especially right now with all the news going on. I really want to wait for some conviction. So either we're going to retest to the 4-hour, confirm the lower high, then you could retarget towards new lows. Whoops, hold on. It would look more like this. Nice retest of the 4-hour, looking for lower highs, targeting lower, like so. Okay, so that's one potential scenario. Again, it is pretty much bearish based on this whole trend here. This is a 4-hour trend. We're very much below this lower high, very much below this key support back here, which would act now as key resistance. So definitely some levels of protection here. 200 EMA is creeping in. So definitely some levels of protection. Could potentially see some good entry opportunities on some lower highs here. However, let's consider some long opportunities. What needs to happen for us to go long? Nice higher low above this 4-hour zone would be enough. Enter on some bullish setups. Go long on that. This is what it would look like. You'd be entering over here on the confirmed higher low, about 65 pips. To be well over 2-to-1. Well over 2-to-1. Okay, so that's that. You take a nice short, the opposite. Literally just looking for these lower high entries as well. All right, so that's UJ, guys. I mean, it's kind of expected with this week. A little bit of indecision, not really quite sure just yet. Need to see a few more confirmations. We'll see. I mean, it's early Tuesday morning right now, so still got plenty of week left. All right, guys. But yeah, this is UJ. Just gotta wait on this one. We'll see what happens. Next, we got EJ. This one's pulling back a little bit. All right. Start on the daily time frame. All right, let's zoom out here. Zoom out. Overall, super bearish. I mean, this is a giant descending channel, as you guys can see. Then this channel was broken when we saw, this weekly lower high break right in here. Then we got a higher low form. It confirmed it. We rallied into our monthly resistance level around 126.5. Got a nice reversal. Broke some daily higher lows. Retested them, and then pushed lower. So let's go ahead and drop down to this bit of price action, see what's happening. Okay, so here's that reversal of the monthly zone. It's 3 peaks. Broke that daily higher low right here. Pushed lower, retested the daily, gave us a double top, rejected that level, gave us a lower high, and then broke through our 4-hour zone. All right, so we are definitely bearish on this, super bearish. And it looks like right now we are coming for a pullback. So good sign right now. It's following this trade path. That's what we want to see. We wanted to see a pullback to 38.2 at least. And then an entry on, some sort of lower high. So anywhere between the 38.2 and a 4-hour, we're looking for a lower high to form. Entering on some strong bearish setups. So bearish engulfing, evening star, tons of exhaustion. Pretty much just any bearish variation would be enough to enter on. Preferably, you want to see a little bit of consolidation right now. A little bit of consolidation. Let these MAs catch up. And then we want to see the volume step in. Nice bearish engulfing through the MAs. I'll take that trade 10 out of 10 times. Target lower towards this weekly. And then I will mark this trade up for you guys. See what this looks like. This is EJ too. So guys, this is going to move good amount of pips. Good amount of pips here. Let's just call it 200. Probably about, it's just outside the 61.8. So 60 pips to get 200 thereabout. Let's see. There it is, 3.33 risk reward. Great trade. Definitely something you want to see. So that's where we're looking for shorts right now on EJ. We'll see how it plays out. However, if this does push higher back into this range, what do we need to see, happen for us to go long? I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily take a long off a higher low back in this range, because again, the next lower high is all the way above this 100%. So I really want to see price action get to that area up there before we start considering longs, because even if we break this 4 hour, it's not going to be that clear cut of a long opportunity. We need to see more. We need to see more levels break. So ideally, we need to see closure above this 100%, closure above this daily for real nice long setups. But until that happens, we're looking short on old EJ here. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up with gold. And I'm going to pass it off to Angelo. So yeah, this thing is rallying like crazy as expected. As the dollar drops, you'll see gold rally like a maniac. But let's start off on the daily time frame. If we zoom out here, we can see overall bullishness, and it's been maintaining that trend for quite a while. Wow. Ugh. That's what happens when you don't have coffee, man. But anyway, super bullish on gold here. So we saw a recent break of 1800. It rallied straight into 2070, which is a nice. That's a huge amount of distance in such a short amount of time, right? But after that, we got a nice ascending triangle. Key support was 1930. Tons of lower highs, squeezing price action to that point. Finally broke that zone. It also gave us a daily transition, daily break of structure right there. Price action dropped, came down to a new low, rejected, came back up, hit the daily zone that we just broke, tested twice, and then started pushing lower. So let's go ahead and drop down to this bit of price action where it's ranging. Let's get a closer look. All right, so after that break of 1930, the daily zone here, we had our drop down towards 1850 handle, comes back up, tests the daily zone that we just broke, and then is pretty much just ranging between 1875 and 1930. So just ranging. Excuse me. It looked like this was going to be a clean break here, but we wanted to confirm this break with a lower high. It never happened, so this trade is now invalid. Instead, it reversed, pulls back into this range, and pretty much leaves us exactly where we were back here. Waiting for some sort of break to the upside or downside. We need to see some conviction at this point. Even if we saw, a mid-range transition here, like a lower time frame transition to bullish. So let's say we get a higher low right off this 1 hour zone. It's not enough to enter on. Like, sure, you could take an aggressive entry on that. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I really want to see a break of this damn range. Because this is just, you can see how choppy it is. It'll go to make a move to the upside, reverses swiftly. Go to make a move to the downside, reverses swiftly, and so on and so on. So conservatively, you really want to see a break of the range itself, and then you can catch a pretty large move. So first would be a higher low above this daily zone, higher low above 1930. Then we could target higher towards 2000 and even new highs. All right, so that's gold long opportunities. Gold short opportunities is going to be very similar. Nice lower high below this 4 hour zone. Good conviction. Then I would be taking a short into 1825 handle. But until we see a break of 1875, a nice lower high below that with some bearish setups, I'm not going to be looking for any trade until we see this break. So yeah, guys, that's gold. Let's do a quick recap. I covered DXY, which is bearish as hell right now. AU looking bullish. AJ bullish. UJ waiting for something here. EJ and gold. All right, this thing is really taking off right now as well. So I'm going to pass this off to Angelo. He's going to cover some more majors for you guys.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to get Sharon. So some people were dropping in the chat their charts that they're currently looking at right now. If you guys want to drop your charts in the chat and wants to take a look, see how they line up, or just just look over them right now, go ahead. Go ahead, drop your charts in there. Just trading view. We'll take a look as to what's going on. So let's share up. So these trades from yesterday were wicked, dude.
Yeah.
This thing ended up slingshotting. AU. UCAT ended up dumping though. This thing showed no entry. I'm gonna go over this in a second. I posted this one in the premium analysis, but it just never pulled back. And UCAD
Yeah,
loves to
but
do this.
yeah, it just kind of broke and then melted. Jesus, committed.
Yeah, this thing just went south. So I'm gonna get started here with UCAD. So let's bump up to the daily time frame. So going into this week on the daily time frame, overall we're very bearish. We could even bump up to the weekly time frame. We were retesting this level of this key level support and resistance right there. And as we come down to the daily, we can see this was last week. We had these two doji candles. So whenever I see doji candles at a level of resistance or at a level of support, we can most likely expect some sort of reversal here. These are reversal candles. As we break this down to like the 1 hour time frame, this is pretty much what I was looking at on the 1 hour. We had formed this high point, higher low, higher high, and we had this higher low that was tested. We were waiting for the break of this level, this break of support. This was structure right there. Even down to the 30-minute, there was no entry on this. So this is what we were waiting for. I had put this in the premium analysis right in here yesterday. UCAD. So we had daily time frame like that. We were waiting on this pullback right there, and this thing ended up just melting down right from that point. So no entry on this. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to look for our next potential opportunity. No point of keeping all of this on now because things have changed. So let's bump back up to the daily time frame. So the daily, guys, it still looks, very much bearish. So daily time frame looks very much bearish, but we are now coming to this level of support. So I'm going to mark this off right here. This is a level of support that we are coming to on the daily time frame. As we can see, we have our weekly level all the way down here. So ultimately, this level could be tested as we just bounced off of this level, this other weekly level up here. So let's move down to the 4 hour. So 4 hour time frame structure on this time frame actually broke right here to go bullish. So this was a break of structure. Normally we would look for that first higher low. And as you can see, we never formed. This thing just pulled all the way back to this lower level. Now we're basically breaking this level right now. So let's go over what am I looking to do next? What is my next trade looking like as I come down to this 1 hour? We can see 1 hour is very much bearish below the 200-day, which is the last line of defense, and 30 minutes below the 200-day as well. 4 hour time frames below the 200-day, so we're very bearish on that time frame as well. And daily time frames also. So all these time frames are lining up to be very bearish, guys. So all this means is that we should look for sells. We should look for sell opportunities. As I come down now, we drew this line on the daily time frame. The only way that I'm going to take another sell is if we come to a level that has confirmation. So this is a level of support. If this level breaks, if we get below this level and we see any sort of bearish variations here, any sort of bearish signals, then we're going to look to sell this off. So sells all the way on UCAD until we get below this level. We would need a lot of reversal, a lot of indecision around this daily level to consider buy. So UCAD guys sell today and wait till we get below this like 1.31 200 level. So that's a UCAD. Change this to this color. So I'm watching this. The GBP is I believe is going to continue to be strong. The economy lockdown make us stronger. I mean, I don't know. We'll look at GU in a second. We'll go based on the technicals. We'll also look at EU. Nick went over UJ. I'm going to move this one down for now. Let's come over to GU. Yeah, this thing's going north. So let's take a look. Let's bump up. I'm going to clean up my charts a little bit. Let's bump all the way up to the weekly time frame right here. So it is good to look at some fundamentals. I'm going to come into here. We do have fundamentals that we post every single day. I'm just going to read this one through. This is for USD. So every day we'll post one post of fundamentals. Obviously for USD this week, it's a big week when it comes to the election. So This week will be very important for US dollar because we have the election. We also have non-farm payroll on Friday. So Friday is going to get pretty crazy. We're expecting very volatile week for the US dollar because all the important events that are going to happen. Federal interest rate decision is coming up this week too. We're not expecting any changes whatsoever because if you remember, Jerome Powell mentioned that they're going to keep their interest rates low for a long time. Low interest rates could lead to the point where inflation levels will go above the central bank target of 2%. However, Powell mentioned that that is not bothering them because they're looking to help the economy at this point. So they're trying to do whatever they can to boost the economy. This, on the other hand, will help the economy, but it will weaken the US dollar. So we expect movements to the downside in the long term. However, there's one more factor that drives the price of the US dollar, and that is the pandemic. As you know, the dollar has some safe haven demand because it is reserve currency of the world. In case the pandemic gets even more serious than it is right now, that will boost the safe haven demand for the US dollar so that we can see it rising and get across exchange rates. So just a little update that we put out yesterday. There'll be another analysis coming out today, most likely on the USD again, depending on how the election goes. We'll update you guys with that. So let's get over to let's go back to GBP USD with that in mind. Obviously, GBP is gaining against the dollar right now. We're gonna take this off. So we're on this weekly time frame, and we're really in a key level right now. We're between this weekly and this monthly level. Ultimately, we're fighting to get back into this monthly or this weekly level. This level has been rejected over and over and over again. So regardless of whether it hits this level or not, I'm looking to sell this off. I'm really looking for GBP to sell off. We can see we haven't broke this level since May of 2018. So this thing has been bearish this entire time. Yes, we have this break of structure right here, and we're getting this doji candle. So unlike this area right here, we're actually gaining support right now. We're gaining support in this area, and that is a good basis as to why to take long opportunities at the moment. Coming down to the weekly, we're holding above the 200-day. All the moving averages are pointing bullish. Down to the daily time frame, we're above the 200-day. Right here, this is where I'm a little bit more wary on, is we had this lower high form on this daily time frame right here. So we had this moving average cross. So what I mean by that is we came up, made this higher high, came down, made this higher low point in the market, and then we came up and we found a lot of rejection. So on this daily time frame, we rejected enough to change the momentum. Lower time frame broke structure in this area. So this is pretty significant. And then as you can see, we bottomed out and we started to gain buyers back. So I just want to break this entire thing down a little bit further, just to get on a time frame that makes a little bit more sense. So down to this 4-hour time frame, this is where we were marking down structure, overall. And what I mean by that, so looking all the way left, is we had this lower low, lower high, lower low, and we came up, we're fighting, retested this level, rejected it, and then we broke. So we broke structure pretty much right here. This was the break, made the first higher high. These are all buying opportunities right here, pushed up to a new high. And then this thing retraced all the way down to 100% level. So if we put on our fibs like this, and we can also map out a demand zone right here. Boom, I'm just gonna switch this up, make this yellow. So you can put this demand zone. As we can see, this demand zone was tested multiple times, but it never actually closed below. Never actually closed below this level. So if anything right now, guys, on GBP, to this guy's point, we are looking for buy opportunities. We're looking for GBP to go and test this upper level at this point. So this is the 4-hour. If we break this down to the 30-minute, this is when we're going to look for potential entries on this. So 30-minute broke structure right here, and more importantly is breaking this level up here. So this level is definitely more major. So regardless of anything, if I look left, this was clearly in a downtrend until this 200-day broke into this uptrend right now. So all we're looking for at this point is some sort of pullback. And I'm actually going to put this one in premium analysis today because this one's looking good. If this thing pulls back and forms a higher low above this level, put this right here, then we are going to definitely look for longs on GU. So be ready on GU today. Definitely a potential opportunity coming up on this. Looking like very textbook long opportunity. All the technicals are lining up here. So we're gonna move this one up a little bit. That one's gonna be one that we look at for sure. Let's bump over now to NU. We're gonna clean this up a little bit. Bump back up to the weekly time frame, or the monthly time frame actually. All right, so on the monthly time frame with this one, this is pretty much how I see it. We have our monthly level up here, our weekly level down here. So we're just in between these two major levels that we're looking for price to get to. Based on how price action's forming on this monthly, these moving averages are starting to turn upwards. We had this doji candle after it failed to reverse at this level. So let's break this down further. So this is what I'm talking about, weekly time frame, very bearish at this level. This is ultimately the level we need to break. So really shorts below this level, guys. Until this level breaks, I'm still looking for shorts on this. We could see this thing's fighting to be bullish so hard. It's really pushing right here. Daily time frame. This is what I've been looking at all along. So pretty much I'm not going to buy until we secure like on the daily above this time frame. And right now we're actually forming, we've been forming this like bearish flag that's been forming for a while, and these patterns they don't set up until the trend line actually breaks, until this lower channel actually breaks to the downside. So the best way to trade this would be to wait for this to break to the downside. Now this doesn't mean that we can't trade this range right here. Doesn't mean that we can't trade everything that's going on here. So we had these highs that were tested, we had these lows that were tested, now we're coming back up. We could definitely expect price to come back into these highs right here, and we'll see if it blows past this high and breaks on this 4-hour, breaks this weekly level of resistance, then we can certainly continue more buying pressure right here. Now if I bump down to the lower time frame right now, there's nothing to enter up. Lower time frame just moved to be bullish, but this is just at a high point. So if we want to enter, guys, on this lower time frame, we even bring out our fibs. The first level that I would even look before I would even look for entry would be this 38.2. So we would wait for it to come down into this 38.2 level before doing anything, before taking any sort of buy opportunity. So that's NU. That's what I'm looking at for today. Looking to go long on this one along with GU. So we'll move this up. Let's go over now to USEF. We could take this one off. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. That was a little trade we gave out on Sunday. That played out pretty well, then started to pull back. Let's just hit on this monthly time frame just to get an idea of where we're at. So monthly time frame, we have our monthly support level here. We have our weekly support level here. As you can see, we're still very much bearish. We did have this monthly engulfing candle, but that was followed with this very weak, ended up being this bearish candle. So let's just break these candles down further, down to the weekly time frame. Again, we're still below the moving averages on this one, still very bearish. So we're bearish on the monthly, the weekly, and we're just at the support level here. So we're keeping that in mind, that we're overall very bearish. And then even down to the daily time frame, this thing is overall, again, very much bearish. We broke lower. I have my fib drawn all the way up here from this previous high on this daily time frame. We could even break this down to the 4-hour. Gets a little bit, it's a little bit more choppy on this. So I'm gonna sit on the daily for this one. But as we can see, we came up, hit this 38.2 level. This is daily structure. So until this level is broken, we are very much in a bearish trend. Now we're pulling back again. Momentum shifted off of the support level to be bullish, but now we're getting this bearish engulfing candle on the daily time frame. So this thing could be setting up for another short opportunity, but this is what I would need to see on this one. We have 1-hour time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This right here is what would need to be broken for us to take short opportunities on this. and we would most likely find some sort of support at this 200-day level, at this previous level right here. So I'm going to map this out. This is going to be, if this thing does break lower, this is going to be a good trade on this one. So we're going to break lower. We're going to find support here. We're going to do a pullback. Doesn't have to retest all the way up. It's going to be some sort of pullback here. If we bring on our fibs, you know, if this does get down to this level, we have 38.2 all the way up here. So ideally we want to get that deep, but we'll see what happens with this one. And this lines up with NU and GU as well. This is assuming that the dollar continues to lose value. So I'm going to move that one up. That's another opportunity. And again, all this analysis, guys, I'm going to post in this premium analysis tab. These aren't signals yet. These are just potential opportunities. Like right before we signal them, we're going to put out the analysis and say, this is what we're looking at on the 1 hour, on the 30 minutes. So you guys can follow us along. And if you guys want to get in on that, it's just $7 one-time fee. You can get that in the start here section. Right here, we got the little thumbs up. So
yeah, it's the first one. So
throw that a like. Yeah, so it's just $7 one-time fee. Again, that is not signals. That is just analysis. So I will post that for you guys after. And now we got UCAD, which I went over. We're looking for that break. So I'll post that one. And then we've got EU. Let's look at EU. And EU, I actually want to go over one thing. So EU on this weekly time frame formed this bearish engulfing candle. So this is looking very bearish at the top here. We broke below the moving averages, which is most definitely significant right now. We're fighting, you know, right now they might cross if this continues to find resistance. Down to the daily, we had this huge fall off right here. So this daily, I have this trend line drawn. I have these highs. I'm going to take that off. But we had this trend line break. And earlier in the week, we were down at this level, and I was saying, don't take sells unless we break below this level. So again, it was just, even though every time frame was lining up to be bearish, we were just so extended on this daily time frame right here, and we're at that daily support level. So you just got to wait for you to use some sort of resistance, some sort of confirmation. As you can see, this level was respected, and now it's pulling back. It's in this pullback right now. I'm looking at this mainly. I'm going to delete this. Let's just go through time frame. So weekly time frame. We're at this high right here. So let's start all the way up on the monthly actually. Monthly time frame overall right now we are bullish, moving averages blue over red, pointing upwards. So there is a lot of bullish momentum here. This thing is starting to pull back a bit, but as long as we maintain above these moving averages, we can say that this is bullish. Down to the weekly time frame, we broke resistance, we broke the 200-day. So overall, this trend is bullish. Whether it finds support at this level or not is to be seen. You know, we have this weekly resistance level here that we've been testing, and that's why I've been taking shorts off of this level. Let's get down to the daily time frame. So daily time frame, we can actually fib this from here, from this low to this high right here. We had price come down and test this 38.2 area. That's where we found support. And now we're finding support at that level once again. So I'm going to take this off right here. Now, why this is significant, why I was considering taking short opportunities is because of this. Let's bring this back on, and let's just map this out a little bit more. So we had some consolidation at the top here. Then we came down, came up, draw this out, and then came down. So this is just going to be a little lesson for you guys as to why right now I'm looking for short. So let's bring off this, we'll bring off these moving averages. And we'll come back up. All right, so without looking at the actual candlesticks on the chart right now, this is just our baseline of structure. We had this high form, and we had these this consolidation. Doesn't hit 38.2, so I don't consider this to be structure. It's more minor. Then we come down, we hit 38.2, we find support, we come up, we come down again, we hit right near 38.2. So this is our higher low point, our most recent higher low point that was broken all the way on this daily time frame. We have the trend line form as well. So that's why right now, guys, I'm looking for short opportunities. This daily time frame is short, 4 hours short, 1 hour short. Every time frame right now below the daily time frame is short. So let's bring everything back on. And sometimes if you're unclear about structure, you can draw that out and make things a little bit more clear for you guys. And then, oh no, not that. Let's do this. So let's come down onto the 4 hour time frame. Let's take a look. Where would be our next potential opportunity? So I'm gonna draw this out, clear this up a little bit here. So this is that previous level of support that's being tested right now. So this is our first, as you could say, zone. This is our first zone with confluences. So we have 38.2 here. We have this resistance level. Those are two confirmations. If we get some sort of bearish engulfing here, then this is definitely going to be the level that we try to short at. So keep that in mind. Now, if it continues higher, we have this 200-day right here at the 61.8 level. So pretty much these are the two zones that I'm looking at because they just have multiple confirmations in these areas. So EU, this thing could head higher. If it heads into this zone up here, I will look for shorts. If it rejects here, I will look for shorts at this level. So that's EU. That's going to be all the analysis that I'm going to go over for today. No GJ today. EU, UCAD, USEF, NU, GU. I'm going to go ahead and post again all of the analysis we just went over. I'm going to post in this premium analysis section today. We do a top down. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much, so guys, top down analysis, all that is how we went from the weekly time frame or the monthly, and we worked our way down time frames. We went from the weekly, we looked at what's the bias on this time frame, daily time frame, what's the bias on this time frame, so on and so on. Sometimes Nick will even put on his chart like monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish.
I'll label the
yeah, like he'll label them by each time frame. So we'll like break it down like that. So that's just top down analysis. You obviously have to have some key levels on there. You've got to use your technicals on the lower time frames. You got to build out a potential position for you guys using everything you know. So that's top down analysis. Yesterday we had the webinar where we went over market structure, like pretty much that example went over, and it really was for beginners. It was very clear as to what we're looking for, when to enter and stuff. If you guys want to watch that, it's on our YouTube channel. Or the link's actually, it's actually not our YouTube channel. The link's actually in here. I posted this yesterday. It's in this analysis tab right here. It's actually on our website, so it's free. If you guys want to rewatch that, you can go in here as well. Please CC English. Yeah, I can give you the link. Just hit me up if you're deaf and need the subtitles. No, how do you mark down your charts? Yeah, no. So we find our zones using support and resistance. This
like a full chart breakdown.
Yeah, like a full chart. I believe Nick, you have a bunch of those on YouTube, right?
Yeah, there's a ton of them on YouTube actually.
Yeah, we can do another lesson on that one though.
Yeah, we could definitely do other webinars, focusing on that as well. Definitely. But yeah, for the meantime, check out YouTube. I think there's like over 20 videos or something like that, over a dozen at least.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos on that. So that's out there. And then if you guys want to get it on the analysis is in here. If you guys want to get on the signals, it is $75 per month. So if you guys want to get on the signals, all you got to do, come to the start here section. There's also a course involved as well with the signals. So we do teach top-down analysis in the signals course. So it's going to come with a course. It's going to come with a trading plan. These live sessions, obviously, the fundamental chat that we looked at before, and the private chat. So if you want to get added to that, $75 per month. And then we also have our lifetime membership, which includes everything in here. So if you guys are really trying to learn how to trade from the beginning, even if you're experienced, if you want to just break it down, we've had so many people join that have had experience before that switch up their style. And when you're trading, it's just kind of a continuous learning experience. So there's no harm in getting more information and sort of adding to whatever strategy you have, or if you are a beginner, you guys can get in as well just from the beginning. So if you guys want to get on the course, it's in here. It's $4.99 right now. We did have the sale going on, but the sale is over now, so it is $4.99, and you can just get it in here. So everything to get started is in this start here section. We have all these free groups right here that you can go through, and if you guys have any questions, you could feel free to just message us. The best place is going to be Discord.
Yeah, absolutely. It's either Angela or I will answer throughout the day. So yeah, definitely message us here if you have any questions, guys. And other than that, we'll see you guys again tomorrow morning, same time.
Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m. And this session will be posted on YouTube in a bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks, guys, for sticking around. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Peace, guys.
Peace.